Pacific. In 1846, they seized California, and 4 years later she was ushered into the Union as the 31st state. By 1851, Americans were using the courts to steal the land-grant ranchos from their original owners. All of this took place against the turmoil of a truly global event. On January 24, 1848, at Captain Sutter's sawmill on the South Fork of the American River, a cry went up and echoed around the world. Gold! Hundreds heeded it, then thousands. They walked or rode across the prairies and mountains, or tossed in reeking ships that carried them to California after they trudged through the pestilential heat of the Isthmus of Panama. Other ships voyaged around the Horn, many sinking in its raging storms. By foot and by horse, by wheel and by sail, these modern seekers of the Golden Fleece, these Argonauts, came. They hailed from farms and cities all over America, from Britain, Germany, France, Switzerland, Russia, China, Hawaii, Brazil, and scores of other places. During the peak of the gold rush, as many as 100,000 of them were swarming into California each year. A few found gold. Most didn't. Those who did failed to keep it. The gold rush created not a single millionaire, not one family fortune. Within 10 years, however, other men with different perspectives began to seek and find the real gold of the Golden State. First among them were 4 shopkeepers, all of ordinary background but extraordinary avarice and energy, who planned, financed, and built the western portion of the first transcontinental railroad. Other Californians began to strike it rich in silver mines just over the Nevada border. Still others found wealth in vast tracts of land where wheat could be grown bountifully and profitably. Even by 1886, when she held almost 1 million people, California had not yet yielded all of her treasures. Despite the disillusionment of many who had already failed there, her shining myth remained undimmed. Her name was still a lodestone for the courageous and hopeful, and she still sang her siren song to young dreamers around the world. This is the story of one of them, and some of those he met on his journey in search of California gold. Prelude. California Dreams, 1886. The 3 hanged men turned in the wind as the timbers of the gibbet creaked and the blizzard covered the shabby coats of the dead with shrouds of white. The boy was frightened of the 3, with their closed eyes, fishy white skin, purple throats. He knew all of them, O'Murphy, Caslin, and Uncle Dave, Pa's brother. They frightened him nearly as much as this sudden storm. It came down off Sharp Mountain like a howling wolf, building the drifts an inch higher during the short time he stood by the gibbet. It stung his face, the snow more like pellets of ice, and drove against him so that he resembled a shrunken old man with white hair. The blue medicine bottle dropped from his numb right hand. Frantic, he pawed in the drift till he found it, and then put it in the left pocket of his poor coat, the only one without a hole. The bottle came from the store operated by the mine company, the Pluck Me store, Pa called it, because that's what it did to all the miners, plucked them clean. He started to run through the growing drifts. Hard going. Soon his breath was tearing in and out in loud gasps. The storm gripped his bones and made them ache, and he felt he'd never be warm again, never see sunshine again. Stumbling past the last of the hideous frame duplexes where some of the miners lived, he feared he'd never see Pa again, because drifts twice as tall as he was blocked the path home. He wanted to cry, but didn't, because he'd learned that lesson already. Even at 7 years old, you didn't cry. If there wasn't enough food, and there never was, you didn't cry. If the winters were endless, freezing without sun, except for a feeble yellow-white glow in the haze now and then, breaking